There is one thing a woman will never, and I mean never, share with a man unless she is completely, hopelessly, irreversibly in love with him. And no, it is not her phone password. It is something so intimate, so raw, so deeply personal that most men do not even recognize it when it happens right in front of them. Research on romantic relationships has found that the majority of men completely miss the moment a woman emotionally committed to them. Completely missed it. That means right now there may be a woman in your life who has already handed you the keys to her heart, and you are standing there fumbling around looking for the lock. Here is something most people will never tell you. Women do not fall in love the way men think they do. Men often imagine love arrives with a dramatic confession, some cinematic moment where she finally says the words and everything becomes clear. That is a beautiful idea. And it is almost entirely wrong. When a woman falls in love, she does not announce it. She leaks it. She shares it in tiny, almost invisible ways that most men walk right past without a second thought. And here is why that matters more than you realize. If you miss these moments, if you fail to recognize what she is actually giving you, she will eventually stop giving it. Not because she stopped loving you, because she decided you were not paying attention. And a woman who feels unseen will quietly close the door. So gently you will not even hear it shut. You will simply wake up one day wondering what happened. Here are the things a woman shares only when she is genuinely, completely, 100% in love. The first is her childhood wounds. When a woman starts telling you about her childhood, not the sweet stories but the real ones, the messy ones. The night her parents fought, and she hid in her room pretending not to hear. The time she felt completely abandoned by someone who was supposed to protect her. The reason she flinches when a voice gets raised too quickly. When she starts sharing that, stop everything else and pay attention. She is not making small talk. She is handing you a piece of herself that she has been carrying privately for years, wrapped in a sentence she has probably rehearsed 100 times before finally saying out loud. Research on emotional bonding consistently shows that vulnerability is the single greatest indicator of genuine attachment between partners. A woman does not show you her wounds unless she trusts you enough not to make them worse. She has likely been burned before. She has probably shared something real with the wrong person and watched them use it against her. So if she is opening up about the parts of her story she usually keeps locked away, she is not being dramatic. She is being extraordinarily brave. And she is being brave because she loves you enough to risk it. The worst thing you can do in this moment is try to fix it. She does not need a solution. She needs a witness. She needs someone to sit with her in the weight of it rather than rushing her out of it. Simply being present, without minimizing, without redirecting, without offering therapy suggestions, is one of the most powerful things you can offer. The second thing she shares is her insecurities about her body. This one surprises most men. We live in a world where women are performing confidence constantly, filters, perfect angles, the whole carefully constructed presentation. So when a woman turns to you without makeup, in her most comfortable clothes, under unflattering lighting, and says something like, "I feel ugly today," or "I hate this part of myself," that is not fishing for compliments. That is a level of trust that took genuine courage to reach. Research consistently shows that the vast majority of women carry a private internal war about the way they look, and most of them carry it completely alone. When she lets you see behind that curtain, when she shows you the version of herself she carefully hides from the rest of the world, she is essentially saying, "I trust you to still look at me the same way after I show you what I am most afraid of." That is not a small thing. That is everything. And how you respond in that moment will be stored in her memory permanently. Women remember, with extraordinary clarity, how a man responded the very first time she showed him her vulnerability. Make sure your response is worth remembering for the right reason. The third thing she shares is her silence. Most men completely miss this one because they are too busy being relieved there is no awkward pause. But when a woman can sit beside you in complete silence, no phone, no need to fill the air, no social performance, and feel entirely at peace in that stillness, that is one of the purest expressions of love and safety that exists between two people. Women are conditioned from a very young age to keep things comfortable, to keep conversations going, to make sure everyone around them is at ease. So when a woman drops all of that performance and simply exists in your presence without anxiety, she is telling you something enormous, without saying a single word.
She feels safe.
She feels home. Her silence is not boredom. It is the deepest form of comfort she knows how to express. And she only shares it with someone she loves. The fourth thing she shares is her future, with you already in it. Pay very close attention the next time she says something like, "We should go there next summer," or "You would love my cousin's wedding in October," or even something as seemingly casual as "When we have our own place one day." Stop. Because what she just did was place you inside a future she is already imagining. And women do not do that casually or accidentally. Research on long-term relationship success consistently identifies this as one of the strongest indicators of genuine emotional investment, when a partner actively builds you into their mental picture of what comes next. When a woman is uncertain about someone, her language stays careful and noncommittal. Maybe. We will see. I am not sure what I am doing. But when she loves you, the language shifts completely. Everything becomes we. She stopped being a solo traveler in her own story. She bought you a ticket and started planning the journey with you at her side. The fifth thing she shares is her past relationship pain. When a woman tells you about what her ex did, the betrayal, the months of crying, the manipulation she did not recognize until it was already too late, she is not venting. She is not trying to make you jealous. She is not still emotionally attached to that person. She is telling you because she is terrified of it happening again. And she is choosing to tell you because she loves you enough to hand you the road map of her deepest pain, so you can understand where the dangerous roads are and consciously choose different ones. This is one of the bravest things a woman can do. Research on trust and vulnerability consistently describes this kind of disclosure as a pivotal moment, where one person risks being completely open and the other person either meets that opening with genuine care or closes it with carelessness. The worst thing you can do is dismiss it. Technically, reassuring yourself that you are not her ex does nothing for her emotionally. What she needs is for you to sit with the weight of what she shared, and then demonstrate through your consistent behavior that you actually understood why it mattered. The sixth thing she shares is her embarrassing habits and guilty pleasures. Do not underestimate this one. When she tells you she has watched the same terrible reality show 4 times, or that she talks to her plants when she is stressed, or that she eats peanut butter straight from the jar at midnight, she is showing you the completely unedited version of herself. The version that is never presented to colleagues, to social media, to anyone who requires even a basic level of social performance. She is showing you the version that only exists when no one is watching. And the fact that she is showing it to you means she has decided you are safe enough to stop the performance. Research on intimate relationships has found that self-disclosure of even small, trivial personal details significantly deepens feelings of closeness and genuine love between partners. Sharing your weird, harmless, slightly embarrassing habits is a form of vulnerability that is every bit as significant as sharing your deepest fears. It says, "I am not performing for you anymore. This is actually me. Receive it like the gift it is." The seventh and final thing she shares is her fear of losing you. When she looks at you and says, "Sometimes I am scared this is too good to be true," or "I am afraid you're going to leave," or simply holds you a little tighter after a difficult conversation, that is it. That is the sign that separates a woman who is interested from a woman who is completely all in. Women are conditioned from a very young age to project independence, to never appear too attached, to never let a man know the upper hand he holds. Society actively trains women to behave as though they could walk away at any moment, even when every part of them is screaming to stay. So when a woman breaks through all of that conditioning, all of that carefully constructed armor, and admits to you that she is afraid of losing you, she has done something that took more courage than most people ever manage. She has jumped without a parachute, and she is trusting you to catch her. Attachment research explains that the fear of losing someone you love is not weakness. It is one of the clearest signs of genuine, secure emotional bonding. When someone is deeply attached, the thought of separation produces real emotional distress. So when she says she is scared of losing you, she is not being clingy. She is being honest about the depth of what she feels. And how you respond to that honesty will tell her everything she needs to know about whether she made the right choice in loving you. Meet it with reassurance. Meet it with consistency. Meet it with the kind of steady, present love that proves she was right to risk it. Because a woman who shares all of these things, her wounds, her insecurities, her silence, her future, her past pain, her real unfiltered self, And her fear of losing you is not casually involved. She has chosen you deliberately, completely, and in spite of every reason the world has given her to keep her guard up. The question is not whether she is telling you she loves you. The question is whether you are listening.